Meet Elzie and Eric Higginbottom, two brothers from two different generations who share 4 generations of hard work and success.
You know, I was very fortunate to have 2 loving and hard-working parents, Elzie and Catherine Higginbottom. My father, he loved hard work, and sometimes he just worked for the love of working. But one of the things that he instilled in his sons is that, you know, there's nothing wrong with working hard, and the result of hard working is always going to be something that's good.
I remember my dad always saying, you take what I give you and what I teach you, what we teach you, and I want you to go further. Because if you make a mistake, if you don't do the things that I've already accomplished, that makes me feel like I failed. And so sometimes as a young person, you don't quite understand that.
My father was born in Oxford, Mississippi, and he was one of 7. And his father was a peddler. When they moved to Chicago, that was the kind of work that he could find, and he sold a variety of things, fruits, vegetables, coal, and that sort of thing. My dad used to pick up coal that would fall off the trains. They lived near a railroad line, and they'd bushel it up and they'd sell it and use it sometimes to heat their own home. My mother was a lot more fortunate than that, in that while she grew up in a small minority community, her ancestors were able to acquire this property. My mother's great-grandmother was Irish. She came over here, first generation Irish, and she lived not too far from where our farm was, worked every day. One of the things that she did instill in my great-grandmother was that a work ethic, hard work ethic. And you know, that's one of the things that I think that we get from a lot of our ancestors, that work ethic.
When he says our farm, I don't know anything about that, but I know that how I feel when I go out there and I see it. And I think about how my mother said her grandparents worked side by side in the plowshares, is what it amounts to, tilling that land that was 80 acres of land, that at the time when they were able to buy that land out there in Pembroke, they didn't want no people that looked, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna be black talking, they don't want people that look like me and like my people having that much land. There's something wrong. You think you trying to do too much.
But doing too much is exactly what made the Higginbottoms successful. They left the farm in Pembroke and moved to Chicago Heights, and that's where their real education began.
My father was always an entrepreneur. When he moved to Chicago Heights, in addition to working in a factory, he and my mother opened a store at 1426 Wentworth. And that's where I got my experience as being an entrepreneur. I say that my father was always trading something, always selling something, and he would always tell me, son, if what you want to do is you want to be your own boss and you want to be in business, and he says you want to figure out how to make a profit. And he says it doesn't matter how big the profit is. You want to make as big a profit as you can, but he says one of the things that you never do is you never go out of business making a profit, no matter how small.
Eric's education began with the family's laundry business, and today he's still keeping that 50-year-old business alive.
Oh, my first part-time job, full-time job started because we had a laundromat. And once I got my driver's license, and also as the business flourished in another phase, and that would be the placement of washing machines in rental complexes, I was the person that went after school and cleaned up these laundry rooms. Those are the things that make it easy for me to face whatever's gonna come today.
His brother, Elzie Jr., went on to become an accomplished athlete in men's track and field. In college at the University of Wisconsin, he was an NCAA All-American and won Big Ten championships in the 440 dash and relay. By 1974, he was the mortgage vice president at Baird and Warner Real Estate in Chicago, and had established his own business, East Lake Management and Development Corporation. In 1983, he left Baird & Warner and devoted all his energies to East Lake. He was the first minority developer of high-rises in the Chicago Loop and River North area, and has developed and manages thousands of residential and business units. In 2005, Higginbottom made Crain's Chicago business list of who's who in real estate and was inducted into the Chicago Association of Realtors Hall of Fame. He is the only African American to receive that honor.
My dad was always in business, selling something, doing something, spent countless hours doing different kinds of things. So whatever way, he says, son, it doesn't make any difference what you have to do to make a living as long as it's honest and you're not taking advantage of anyone. And that's one of the lessons that I've tried to carry with me throughout my entire adult career and my business career, and it's paid off for me. I have been blessed in that I have met a lot of truly good people in my life, and these people have always helped me along the way with my journey. No man is an island. You succeed by people helping you and working hard yourself.